und Herren, der Zimmererklatsch. Aus der Meisterschule aus Kassel und damit herzlich willkommen natürlich hier bei uns in Halle 16 auf dem Stand von LIGNA-TV. Herzlich willkommen zum Deutschen Holzbaupreis 2013. Ja!
You can hear, ladies and gentlemen, there's quite a lot going on at the LIGNA 2013, and this prize counts as one of the most important awards in the field for building. And here in Hall 16, we are very curious about the prize winners, and because there are so many, I am very glad I've got someone who knows a lot about it. It's the chief editor of the magazine, Burkhard Fröhlich. Welcome, nice to have you here. Your applause. Now tell us, the prize, it's been around for a few years. What exactly is behind it? What is the award all about? What are the goals? Well, the Deutscher Holzbaupreis that is awarded every 2 years, in this case is the 9th time. The goal is in the range of architecture on the one hand and planning to support carpenters and the joiners, bring them together as an integral process. Wood building is one of the oldest construction options of all kinds, and it's something that's very important for nowadays. And that's how the work comes together that we can see here today. Was 2013 a surprise for you? I don't know what I would choose myself if I were in the jury. Well, of course, the jury found it very difficult. We'll hear that later on as well. There were more than 226 projects. It's very difficult to choose there. There are lots of wonderful pieces of work here, not only the ones that have won prizes, but also the range of recognition. People who didn't actually win, but are still being shown here. I would like to ask you to introduce us to the jury, especially for those who were not here. Right. May I introduce? Here we're going to start Ulrich Huth. He is the leader of Holzbau Germany. Why is there this prize? You can say it far better than I can.
Ich habe schon ein bisschen was gesagt, aber Sie können das noch viel besser machen als ich.
Well, of course, wood is one of the oldest building materials, and we have a very good wood building tradition in Germany. It's centuries old, and in the last century, because of Bauhaus, there was a lot done with cement and concrete, steel and so on, that was then used for building. But we would like to promote our material. We have a wood building ratio that is rising, and we want to, it's about 20% now, we want it to be up to about 30%. So of course it means that we have to show the interesting objects and evaluate them and show them and present them to a wide audience here. Thank you very much, Mr. Wood. So you see the pieces of work that are here. There is a good path, a good way in the direction of towards the 30%. Hans-Dieter Hegner from the Federal Ministry of Building, Sustainable Building and Research. Mr. Hegner, why did you, as the Federal Minister, decide to be patron for this prize? Dr. Ramsauer, as the Building Ministry, was glad to take over the patronage here, on the one hand to strengthen the woodworking and wood building industry, to make that important, to raise the importance, and it's important that we support that, and even the ancient Romans knew that good examples are important, and that's why we support this gladly. And a second important reason, in these days, 300 years sustainability, it's from German forestry, that's where it stems from, and we're taking this into building, for sustainable building, and would like to promote that and advertise it more, make it more obvious, and that is something that's fantastically doable with wood as a material. Thank you very much, Mr. Hegner. The German Bundesstiftung Umwelt, Sabine Cehanscha, who, so to speak, also supports this project, this Holzbaupreis. What goals do you have? On the one hand, energy is a very important topic, but also energy efficiency is the one thing, and resource efficiency is also a topic that is going to be becoming more important in the future. We think that wood building is a very important function there in this topic, resource efficiency, and we have research projects in which we've found that the pure wood building, and the lower the energy is in the companies, then of course that will lower the total amount. And this is a topic that can be well transported if architects also understand that wood building is a material that is ecological and aesthetic and has its advantages, and that's what can be supported by this kind of prize. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now Professor Hermann Kaufmann, if I may say so, he is to blame for what we have here as prizes, because he is the leader of the jury, head of the jury. What was your main criteria for you and for the jury? Well, of course, it's always difficult to take a picture and from images if you haven't actually seen the projects yourself, but we tried to focus on good architecture. It doesn't help if you have the best and most innovative wood construction if the architecture doesn't work. I think that's the most important, wood construction with the good architecture, transporting both of these together. We do not need to explain the material. We do not need to explain the material in regards to ecology. It's a wonderful material with which you can make great buildings, and that was the sense of this prize. Here are the first excellent and prize-winning projects here. In the last 70-80 years, this kind of project has gone down a bit because modern art did away with wood, really. So that is why the architectural renaissance for wood is very important, and these samples show that this material was forgotten, and that was not fair. Thank you, Professor Kaufmann. So we've talked a lot what is so important and what we can do. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we haven't shown you, what has actually been awarded prize or is prize-winning. We already mentioned that at the Deutscher Holzbaupreis we have 5 equal prizes, and we have 9 recognitions here. It's in 3 categories: category of new builds, already existing, and concepts. So we're starting from back to front. So the recognition awards, please all come up to the stage. So you can step towards us now, show us a few pictures, and you can tell us who's there. From Berlin, new build, Christoph Rüdig and Philipp Koch as the architects. Say please to come forward. Michael Kühl from Frohloff Staffer und Kühl, and in Holzbau ABZ Holzbauzimmerei GmbH. Also please come to the front. As next, I would like to ask Wohnanlage Hollerstaud in Ingolstadt, Office Ritzer, Bauplaner Dr. Stefan from Saler Stefan und Partner from Munich, and from Holzbaubetrieb Holzbau Pfeiffer aus Reppendorf. There were supposed to be 2 participants. Here they are. Recognition 3, Studentenwohnheim in Wuppertal, by Architekturkontor Müller from Wuppertal, Progressplaner Alfredo Barrias from TSB in Darmstadt, Holzbaubetrieb Brückmann Holzbau aus Neuenkirchen, and Bauherr Hochschulsozialwerk Wuppertal, all of them here. Fantastic. Next project is Kinderkrippe Teufel in Bibach. Architects Johannes Kaufmann Architekten aus Dombier. Planer Konrad Merz, Köln Krei. Günter Kaufmann is from Holzbaubetrieb. Welcome. Right. Recognition for Information Center Hostershausen Teiche, Biosphärenreservat in Gutau. MPA Müller und Partnerarchitekten von Dresden. Tagespartner were Könner-Hackel und beratender Ingenieure aus Dresden Holzbaubetrieb, Holzbauheber from Schilgiswalde, Kirschau, and Bauherr Frau Herr Birgitmar or Herr Kurt Berner. Please come to the front here. The sixth recognition, Wasserwesen University of Neubiberg, from Beringer beratende Ingenieure from Munich, and Holzbaubetrieb Holzbau Fleischmann from Main-Neuss. Category New Builds, Recognition 7, Betriebsgruppe baufähige Kolonne in Berlin, Einreicher UT Architects Bauerverein from Weidemeyer in Berlin, Tagespartner Pichler Ingenieure from Berlin, and Holzbaubetrieb SK Dachau GmbH from Spremberg. So we're at the second last recognition, facade renovation, building in existing buildings. Von Latke Architects from Augsburg, planner Frau Dr. Mandy Peter from Bauer Konstruktions GmbH from Munich, and Holzbaubetrieb Georg Eser from Gumbo-Meyer GmbH Binswang. Now the last project in the area of recognition, building for multi-layer wood building. Arthur Shankuna from Munich is the architect. Planner Frau Dr. Manipeta, also we just had her, and Huber and Son GmbH, KG from Bachnering. Right. These are all those who have been recognized. Big applause for all of you for your wonderful pieces of work.
We
also want to have a good memory here. We want to have lots of pictures, so please could you sort of come together to a photograph size, 13 by 8 or something. That looks quite good. And a step, everyone 2 steps forward, then you're all going to be lit up nicely.
Man möchte fast meinen, Sie haben sich gut aufgebaut jetzt gerade.
Yeah, you built up very nicely there. Thank you. Your photo
und Ihr Foto lächeln bitte.
And your smile, please. Thank you very much for the photograph. Thank you for being here, your recognition and your applause. So that was good. These pictures were really very clear. Wonderful projects, yes. Indeed, they all deserved a prize. But in a competition, of course, it is that way. You have to make a decision. Yes, but yeah, it seemed to have been very difficult in 2013. I think there were fantastic projects there. And now the prizes. As we already said, there are 3 different categories. Components and concepts, building, existing building and new builds and concepts. And we have the different concepts here, the components and concepts for a wind power plant in Hanover. I know that town, yeah. Maybe you've already seen the project. Where is it? In Hanover. Professor Pohl, come here, please. Is he here? I hope he's here. Yeah. Welcome. I may add that the wood company by Henry Cordes and Bert Röder from here, from Rothenburg an der Wimmer, the company, the building company, Strabag Ingenieur Holzbau in Hermsdorf. Welcome. Building in already existing buildings. Here's the Toll- und Gesundheitsresort Tannenhof in Bayerisch Zell. Here, please, Florian Nagler from Nagler Architekten from Munich. Do come to the stage. Do come forward, and then everyone can see you. Here I can see with this project, Tragosplaner Konrad Merz and Gordian Klei from Merz Klei Partner from Dormin. Builder aus einem Hammer GmbH Zimmermann in Grund and Carpenter Josef Grund in Fischbach. I think I made the first project. I just introduce and show. Oh, do please come to the front, just for a few meters. Yeah, that's perfect. Then you're all in the right light. So, category 1, components. May I say what the jury said? So, one-of-a-kind construction, excellent production here in wind energy. There's modular, pre-made chipboard panels glued with metal, which are very stable against strain. Complicated and complex heavy weight transportation is not necessary any longer, so also CO2 reduction is very good. So taking other new products here, wood, as it has not been used before. The second project, Hotel and Gesundheitsresort in Bayerischzell. The Tannenhof Sanatorium for Natural Health was handed over to the 4th generation and made ready for the future. Small little towers that were made out of wood, a very nice complete concept that has built up on the standards from beforehand that were already existing and leads to a lot of relaxation. Very technical but also very emotional. We have lots of lovely pictures here. Professor Kodek, I'll come over to you, come between you two. Let me ask you, well, we already heard very technical. What were the demands, requirements? How much did that demand from you? Well, of course, it was financially demanding. The whole project would not have been financed by a bank. We needed an investor that was willing to risk this, and we did that, and we managed that to put a turbine on that worked without any problems. So for almost half a year, the thing has been turning, the turbine has been working. There's not a problem there at all. So we ourselves are very positively surprised how well the wood as a building material is suitable. So I think that's something that a lot of visitors to the LIGNA are not surprised about, because they have always believed in wood. But congratulations anyway. I'm going to come over here for a second. We saw the pictures of the Tannenhof as well. Very emotional, very beautiful. You're proud, aren't you? Oh yes, more or less. It's a very nice project. There's a lot of work in that kind of project. It's a very long procedure. We worked on it for 4 to 5 years. So it's nice to have a reward like that, to actually get a prize for it. Was there an area that you liked especially, an area that was really close to your heart, or was it the whole concept? Well, the whole concept is of course very important, but the specialty was maybe the little towers here that were mentioned, that rooms stacked on each other at hotels in the mountains, where you just sort of go down into the main room for your applications. That's very, very impressive. A situation like today, so thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Well, thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen, to the award ceremony, handing over of the certificates and also the checks. I shouldn't forget. And there are the certificates. A lovely moment. It is being sealed off here. The first 2 categories, components and building in existing buildings. The Deutscher Holzbaupreis 2013. We have 9 recognitions, 5 prizes. And these are the first 2 categories. So I may ask you please to huddle together so we can have a photo here with the jury. Standard photograph format, maybe 2 rows, maybe all huddle together a little bit. Please do come a bit forward, otherwise you're not in the light. Maybe a little bit closer together, otherwise you won't fit onto one photograph, maybe 2 rows. Yes, yes. Just imagine you were a football team. Yeah, see, it looks fantastic. It does look like football, doesn't it? There you go. Fantastic, your applause. Congratulations for the first 2 categories. Thank you very much. So many facets. It's really fantastic. Yes, you can see what other functionalities and aesthetic and architectonically what is possible with wood as a building material. And here another question here to Mr. Hegner that we already introduced before, and he in his area talks also about sustainability. It's a 300th anniversary for sustainability, and his ministry also has a lot to do with sustainability. And so, of course, also on the energy change here. The project that we saw here, are these the contributions that we were expecting, that you were expecting? Well, first of all, I think it's great as a building engineer to have a concept for such a tower with wood. You can see what wood is capable of doing, and that it should be used more. But it's also been very nicely modernized to put on this extension. A very careful handling and dealing with the existing material, existing product, very, very carefully added to the existing rooms and building. And with these little rooms, it's certainly a very nice architectural addition. Sustainability is not only what we can measure in CO2, what we can save, but also it has to be paired together with socio-cultural aspects, high comfort and high architectonic features. And that is something that really worked well here. It's fantastic samples for sustainability, but also for the energy change and building culture in total. May I just ask, though, talking about the change in energy, if we want to manage a change in energy usage 2020-2050, we're going to have to make a big change. Do you see a beginning here? Well, yes, something that Florian Nagler has done with this modernization. There is no way past existing buildings. More than 80% of primary energy needs to be saved by 2050, and that is something that we will have to do with existing buildings. We can't change and exchange so many buildings. We have to implement this into the existing buildings. We have to make these buildings fit for new demands and requirements. I think that is something that is shown here by the solutions, that is possible. Thank you very much, Mr. Hegner, for the statement. We are now coming on further with the third category. We have 3 winners. Shall we bring them all onto the stage together? The Finance Department in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Rainer Bauer from Munich, Planner Konrad May and Gordia Klei from Dombien, and Michael Stachel from Timber Construction in Alta. Welcome. Robert Ness Gymnasium in Wangen im Allgäu is the next prize. the gentleman Meyer, Balder, Herrenberger from Munich as the architects, please come forward. Then Ms. Christina Schlisser as builder, planner Konrad Merz and Geier Klei, Merz Klei Partner and Dombien, and the construction company Ms. Böhnisch from Rosenheim. And the Interims Audimax TUM campus in Garching. I may greet Maximilian Rimmel from Munich to come forward, and planner Dr. Manu Peter from Munich, and Jörg Vettel, Rainer Merkel from Merkel GmbH in Bissingen. Right. Now we have the further three winners on the stage. If you look at the object. So now we are curious. We start with Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It's the finance department. The project in Garmisch-Partenkirchen is a very good model project of the public body for modern wooden buildings. 45% increase, the decrease in, and it's a very good example of an authority building, and it could be used greatly in public buildings. The next is Robert-Ness-Gymnasium in Wangen im Allgäu. The jury says, regardless that it's just changing a school building, the extension is a new identity, gives a new identity. Vertical wood as some protection, a disciplined facade is aesthetically in a nice contrast to the old building of the school. A nice, complete picture. Congratulations to all planners and participants. Interims Audimax TUM campus in Garching. The specialty here is a very limited budget, a very short planning and realization time, a temporary usage. These aren't the best prerequisites, that's what the jury says, to create a prize-winning architecture, but it's a facade. It's a cover of softwood. Depending on the light, it shimmers in different shades. And this evokes an idea of changing heights. This modulated cover shows how wood can be used far away from the old cliché of the natural facade. Congratulations. This is also something we are going to honor. I'll come over here. Well, now there are people who say that financial departments always were a bit woody, but you've made it really nice now. What kind of a feeling is that? Is it a school for all of the finance departments in the future? Well, of course, I'm very happy that we've got this prize. Well, the nicest thing is that when I go in here after about a year, that I can see that the employees, the 175 employees, are very happy working in that building, working and spending time in that building. So it's a nice motivation for the employees as well. Yes, we're all very, very happy. We're really content with the success that this project has had. Well, congratulations for this fantastic building. I'm going to Ms. Schlisser now. What do the pupils now say to the new gymnasium? Oh, they're really, really pleased. They say the air is very good, the acoustics are really good, there's no echo because of the wooden ceilings, it's a very nice climate. Pupils and teachers are very happy, so everyone's happy that they're allowed to work. Mr. Rimmel, did I overlook him? Oh, where is he? Oh, there he is. Do come a bit closer, otherwise we can't see you in the camera.
Ja, die
TU Munich.
Also,
we were at the finance department school, now the university.
Ist ja schon, doch
it's very exciting how different the buildings are. What did you find especially fascinating about the project? Well, the facade maybe was a bit of an experiment, thinking about how to let a very strict facade swing. So it was very new for us. But it's a lot of fun. So congratulations to you too. Please come 3 steps forward, create a picture here, and then we also have a chance to make a nice photograph before we hand over the certificates. Well, no, we'll hand over the certificates first. Okay. And Kaufmann, please here, come forward too.
Also wirklich 3 ganz tolle
So really fantastic projects, 3 great projects that are being awarded prizes here. Finance department, a school, and Audimax.
Alles eben Orte, an denen Menschen
Everything,
arbeiten. Wir haben gehört, die
all
Luft
places
wird gelobt.
where people work,
Bestimmt
the
auch
air is
für
being
den
praised,
Stoff
especially
Holz.
also, I'm sure also because of the material
Ganz
wood,
typisch und auch
very
natürlich
typical for wood,
für alle Beteiligten.
and of course for all
Eine ganz tolle
participants,
Atmosphäre und wichtig
a
auch.
lovely atmosphere, and it's also important.
Und das ist das Schöne heute bei dieser Preisverleihung.
That is a
bei
nice thing today at this
LIGNA-TV hier in
award
Halle
here at
16 bei
LIGNA
der
TV in Hall
Preisverleihung
16
des
at
Deutschen
the award
Holzbaupreises
ceremony of the Deutscher
2013,
Holzbaupreises
dass man wirklich
2013,
nur glückliche und
that you
fröhliche
can
Gesichter sieht.
really only see
Und das
happy
zu Recht, da kann man wirklich
faces,
stolz sein.
and you can be proud.
Ich bin da immer noch begeistert, wie die Jury da
I'm
überhaupt eine
still
Auswahl treffen konnte, weil alle
so fascinated that the jury was able to make a decision
Anerkennung,
here,
wirklich tolle
also
Projekte.
the recognition for these great projects.
Und die Urkunde, die wird bestimmt überall
And
einen
the
ganz
certificate,
tollen
I'm
Platz
sure, is
finden.
going to find a great place.
Und wenn Sie sagen, Mensch,
And
wie
if
sehen die
you
Preise
say,
eigentlich aus? In Halle 15
oh,
sind
well,
die
what do
auch
the
noch
prizes
mal
actually
alle
look like?
ausgestellt.
In Hall 15, they're
Hier auf
all
der
on
LIGNA
exhibit, they're all on display here at the LIGNA
2013 bis
in
zum Freitag.
2013 up until Friday.
So, die Urkunden sind übergeben.
Right, the certificates have been handed
Darf ich Sie schon
over.
mal zum Foto bitten?
Then I
Also,
may ask you
kommen Sie
to come
ruhig
together
wieder
for
enger
the
zusammen.
photograph. Do
Alle
please
noch mal
come
2, 3
closer
Schritte nach
together.
vorne, dann haben wir Sie
Just
alle
a
drauf.
few more
Die Damen
steps
gerne
further
in die
forward, then we
erste
have you
Reihe.
all in here. Please, the ladies
Die
to the
erste
front
Reihe ist
row.
vorne
The
zur
front
Erinnerung
row is
einmal.
at the front here, just to remind you.
Wollen wir jetzt die anderen Preisträger nicht auch nach vorne bitten, damit wir
So shouldn't we ask the other winners to come here as well, so that we have a
Ja,
picture of
vielleicht erstmal
everyone?
ein Foto. Erstmal einmal
Maybe
außen
first of all,
her. Genau,
one
rutschen wir
photograph
einmal auf,
here.
Dann machen wir ein
So huddle up,
schönes Foto.
then we'll
Ja,
make a
sehr
nice
gut.
picture
Bleiben Sie
here.
ruhig.
Fantastic, good.
Unsere Preisträger
Our prize
2013.
winners 2013.
Ja, vielen Dank fürs Foto.
Well, thank
Und
you very
jetzt
much
der
for the
Vorschlag?
photograph.
Alle? Ja,
And
erstmal Applaus
now the
nochmal,
suggestion,
ja?
everyone.
Sehr
Okay,
richtig,
applause. Yes,
sehr
of course.
richtig.
Yes, that of course is right. Yes.
So, mein Vorschlag wäre jetzt sozusagen auch die
Right.
anderen
My suggestion would
Preisträger
be
nach
to
vorne
bring
zu bitten.
the
Ich finde
other
den Vorschlag super. Also alle Preisträger nach
people
vorne.
who won a prize here to come forward. Please
Und
do
vor
come
allen Dingen
forward.
auch die ganzen Anerkennungen dazu.
Yes, and all the
Alle
people
nochmal
who received recognition today, please also come forward
Einfach drauf
so
los.
that we can see that you all received a prize today. So if you all come to the front here, everyone who's been awarded a prize or a recognition today, please come forward.
So, hier ist das Gesamtfoto.
Right, here we have the complete photograph.
Alle Preisträger schön
All
im
of the
Bild.
prize winners on camera.
Noch ein bisschen, ja genau, sie verstecken sich hinter
So
dem
you're
Bildschirm. Ich
hiding
hab das
behind
genau
the
gesehen.
screen. I can
Ich
see
schiebe
that.
sie jetzt einfach
I'm
mal
going
so
to push you a little bit
verbal, 2
virtually,
Meter nach rechts.
verbally
Schiebe,
to
schiebe,
the
schiebe, schiebe.
to the right.
Sehr gut. Ich glaube, jetzt
Pushing,
müssen wir
pushing,
drauf
pushing.
haben.
Pushing. Okay, right. Okay, we should have you all on camera now.
Hier ist das Abschlussfoto. Ich bedanke mich.
Here is the finishing photograph. Thank you very much. Congratulations to everybody. You may also actually applaud yourselves. You have earned it.
So.
Right.
Genau. Wir wollen ja noch mal, Herr Fröhlich,
Please, would the jury all come forward?
Genau.
I want to have a little
So viele
final
Preisträger,
round here.
sensationell.
So many prize winners. I think that's sensational.
So, wir müssen mal kurz noch Fotos
Right.
gleich noch gleich machen. Wir wollen Ihnen noch 2 Fragen stellen.
Briefly, maybe you can make some pictures later on. We have a few more questions.
Ich würde gerne noch
Mr. Fröhlich, please. I would like to ask one question to Professor Kaufmann. What could you recommend for the next Holzbaupreis? What would you recommend the colleagues, the planners, the engineers, and the builders, the carpenters? What advice would you give them? If they want to win next time, then, as I said, only in combination with good architects. That is the key to win an award in wood building. Thank you. Right. So I may now pose the last question to Mr. Huth. We're going to have the 2015 prize, I'm sure. Is the direction of the categories going to be the same, or are you going to? Do you think there's going to be a different emphasis? Well, I think we will probably have these 3 categories again: new build, innovations, and existing buildings. Because we want to promote wood building, we need the highlights, as we say, the flagships, and that is what we have to show here. But of course, the existing buildings are going to be in the main focus. And who is this young man here? This young man is Timmy, our sympathy figure, our little. For every Timmy that is made and handed over, €1 goes to Aktion Mensch, and every 2 years it's awarded. And so there's a little sum here that comes together, so we are socially also involved. Thank you very much. So it's for a good cause. The message is, Timmy, buy Timmy for €1. I can only say thank you to the lady, the gentleman, also of course to you. Thank you very much for explaining everything to us, introducing everyone to us. Thank you all, Mr. Stack. You also did a good job. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you all very much for your attention. That was it, the Deutscher Holzbaupreis 2013. Congratulations to all winners.
Genau. Danke.